Hi everyone, Raksha here. Today I'm going to be doing a bullet journal spread about a book I just read. I really want to remember the key points from this book because it's really helped me at times when I've felt frustrated or a bit restless, and I think capturing the key points in my bullet journal will help reinforce what I've read. Bullet journalists are always asking about reading related spreads because we all seem to love books and we want to remember everything we've learned. When it comes to remembering things, we need to transfer information from our short-term memory to our long-term memory, and this is done through repetition. What I like to do when I'm reading a book is I make notes while I'm reading the book, and then once I've finished, I'll rewrite those notes to make sure they're condensed and concise. I then present it to myself in a way that my brain can easily remember it, so I can just glance at a page and see all the key points, and my brain slowly starts to transfer that information into long-term memory. I used to do this all the time when I was studying, and I even did it in 2018 when I was about to give birth, and I read a book on hypnobirthing. I captured all of the key points in my journal on a one-pager, and even through the excruciating pain of labour, I remembered those key points and some of the things that I read. And I think it really actually helped me have a quick and drug-free birth, better than I could have expected. Anyway, the book that I'll be summarising today is Peace is Every Step by Thich Nhat Hanh. Thich Nhat Hanh is a Vietnamese monk. He's a Buddhist teacher known as a Zen master. He's written quite a few books on compassion, peace and mindfulness. If you're interested in his work, I'll leave some links in the description below with some books and some articles about him. Really worth the read. And while you're there, subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon to get notified when I next release a video. Now I'm going to head over to my journal and share what I learned from this book. In Peace is Every Step, Thich Nhat Hanh shows you how to make use of situations in your daily life to help get to a state of inner peace. And once you have this inner peace, you can then extend it to the world around you. He starts by explaining that love, compassion and altruism are the fundamental basis for peace. If these qualities are developed in an individual, then they're able to create an atmosphere of peace around them. For true inner peace, we should always be looking to be kind and compassionate, especially at challenging or difficult times, which is when it's the hardest. Just picture being really annoyed with your partner or your children. You need to be able to step back from the anger and really try to understand why they might have done what they did to upset you. Really think about the needs and aspirations and suffering of the person that you're frustrated with to be able to feel true compassion. Now, if I start to feel anger or annoyance towards my kids or my husband, I'm starting to make an effort to pause and think about their needs or their aspirations. 9 times out of 10, it's helped me look at the situation differently and feel compassion towards my offender. I either realise that I was overreacting, or I'm able to communicate my concerns with them in a positive way, which ends up being much more effective than if I gave in to the anger. The book explains that once an individual has their inner peace, it can then extend to the atmosphere around them, first to the people around them, like their families, then to the wider community, maybe neighbours or colleagues, and finally to the rest of the world. Thich Nhat Hanh explains that to achieve any of this, we need to practice conscious breathing. That's inhaling and exhaling and being conscious of each breath in and out. In those moments of anger, you take a deep breath in and a deep breath out, and you can say a few words in your head when you breathe in and when you breathe out to bring you back to the present moment. For me, it's enough to just focus on the words inhale and exhale. He explains that experiencing life in the present moment helps us experience a vivid and enjoyable life, helps prevent wasted or destructive thoughts, and helps recover ourselves. He talks about how our senses are our windows to the world, and sometimes the wind blows through them and disturbs everything within us. We need to know when to open and close our windows. I think this is an important point to remember because we all have triggers that disturb our inner peace, and we need to be aware of them in order to create a wall of protection from them. Equally, we also need to know when to let the light in. I think reflection and self-awareness helps to identify these factors, and that's what I use my journal for. He also explains that we need to practice meditation gently and steadily throughout our day, not just in a 30-minute session in the morning. And he talks about a few ways that you can do that. You can use washing dishes as an opportunity to do your conscious breathing. You can take your time breathing with vacuuming as well, and mowing the lawn, and it can have the same meditative effect. When going for a walk in the day, don't walk to arrive somewhere, but instead just walk and coordinate your breathing with your steps. This is known as walking meditation. We need to find ways to remember to do conscious breathing throughout the day to bring us back to the present. Often temple bells ringing are a reminder to do inhales and exhales, and he suggests finding a prompt in our own lives, like every time you receive a notification on your phone, you can use it as a prompt to do your conscious breathing. The book explains that there are so many things that are enjoyable, but when we don't practice mindfulness, we don't fully appreciate them. If there's one thing to remember that will make the biggest difference, it's to strive to do things aimlessly without a goal. Whether it's eating, drinking tea, or walking, he says each moment brings us back to life. Feelings can often take over and disturb your peace. To transform your feelings, you need to do your conscious breathing to become fully aware of the feeling, to observe it and accept it. You can even say something in your head to help, like, breathing in, I'm aware of an unpleasant feeling in me. Breathing out, I'm aware of an unpleasant feeling in me. The steps to transforming the feeling are: first, recognize the feeling. For example, it could be fear. Second, become one with it so you fully own it rather than rejecting it. Then calm the feeling with your breathing, and you can then release it. When you fully accept the feeling as part of you, the feeling won't be able to grow, so you can trust that after steps 1 to 3, the feeling won't overwhelm you. The last step is to look deeply to understand the root cause of the feeling so it doesn't resurface again. Anger is a powerful emotion that can stem from seeds of negativity in ourselves. We can proactively take care of those seeds. I personally think this is through being fully self-aware and knowing what causes these seeds of negativity to form so you can address them, and also by being kind to yourself. The book explains that once you've looked after the seeds of negativity in yourself, you can then be in a position to help or guide others who are struggling to find their peace. Internal formations are knots inside our body that are formed when we don't fully understand why something has happened or our reaction to it. If we practice full awareness, we can recognize these knots when they're forming and find a way to transform them, and this will keep the anger emotion from forming and growing. Also, throughout daily life, take every opportunity to plant positive seeds so that they outweigh the negative seeds during difficult times. I plan to plant positive seeds by doing the things that make me feel happy or calm, distancing myself from things that make me really unhappy, taking the time to appreciate the simple things in my life, and nurturing the relationships that encourage this positivity. The book explains that once you've mastered these things internally, you're in a much better position to extend it to others and create an atmosphere of peace around you and in your home. True compassion is the way to understand and help others and to experience real love. Conscious breathing will bring you fully back to the present and will help you feel true compassion, and that's the way to find and maintain your inner peace and to foster peace in the world around you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.